Okie dokie. Now, there's several important things we have to say really fast here. We talk about some mechanical stuff. Are you ready for some crazy mechanical stuff, Joey?
Sure.
This is the first time I ever saw Ping as a girl, or rather Mulan. No one thought through her disguise, but seeing her now, she doesn't look boyish at all.
I don't see how any man could have survived an avalanche like that. We have to find Shan-Yu quickly. He's probably headed for the palace.
We already found him. He was like 10 feet away from us.
Shan-Yu is supposed to be Master Swordsman, but so are you, Sora.
Oh?
If you can parry his attack, I'm sure you'll have a chance to strike back.
Oh?
Mechanics. They're teaching us things, but that's not the mechanics I was talking about. So, you may notice, Joey, that we're in an area where all of our party members are actually walking around, right?
Yeah.
And they aren't even in the little UI down in the bottom corner there. It's just Sora. Okay, so this is a very important room for explaining how the heck drive forms work. So, drive forms, as we've already discussed, are things where we have to link up with one of our party members, and it drains that gauge over there that says drive max 3, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now, see, I can't say exactly what it is yet, but drive forms are basically like, as you already saw, you change your form, you have a different style of attack. In this case, we're going to have 2 Keyblades, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's an invisible penalty built into drive forms. There's basically something that's put into the game to stop you from abusing them, to stop you from using them too much.
Okay.
The game has an invisible internal counter that tracks how many times you've used drive forms, and the higher that it gets, the higher the percentage gets for a bad thing to happen to you, for a disadvantageous thing to occur.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what that is yet, because it'll happen eventually, and hopefully it'll be a surprise when it does. But basically, here's the way that it works. Every time that you go into a form, you add 1 point to this invisible, magical, behind-the-scenes counter, right?
Yeah.
Now, when your points are between 0 and 4, there's 0% chance of this bad thing happening to you.
Okay.
When it's between 5 and 9, there's a 10% chance of this thing happening to you when you go into a drive form. So if you have between 5 and 9 points, when you activate a drive form, there's a 10% chance this bad thing will happen to you. When you've got over 10 points, whenever you go into a drive form, there is a 25% chance this bad thing will happen to you.
Okay.
Now, there's other conditions that will affect this. Whenever the bad thing happens to you, it subtracts 4 points from that invisible score. So it's not like you're just going to be locked into doing it after a certain amount of time. In addition, whenever you unlock a brand new form, as there are going to be more, obviously,
Yeah.
your counter is reset to 0.
Okay.
And there's a couple of other things that don't affect it. So, for example, if one of your allies is unconscious when you go into a drive form, then you don't get any points added to the counter. So if we use Goofy to go into Valor form, but Donald or Mulan is unconscious, we're good. The counter doesn't go up. We're fine. I have all this on a chart here. I'm not spitting this off out of memory. I'm not this. I'm not this
figured.
Now, there's some other parameters that affect this. If you're in a scripted battle where the UI is red and you can't escape, then whatever your percentage chance is, it's multiplied by 2. So if you're in a scripted fight and you're already over 10 points, your percentage chance of the bad thing happening is 50. If you're in a fight with an organization member, as will obviously happen, we've already fought them in comm. It's not a spoiler to say that. I'm sure somebody's going to think that that's a spoiler or whatever. It's not. 5 times chance of it happening. And one of the final bosses of the game, 10 times chance of it happening. So anyway, there are a handful of fights in this game where there is a automatic 0% chance of it happening, basically, or like it's just like it's very unlikely that it's going to happen. That's with Pete. Any fight with Pete and a couple of other specific bosses just drastically reduces your chances of going into that form.
Okay.
So basically, as we've already discussed, the leveling system for each of these is a little bit odd, right?
Yes.
Where with Valor, we have to we get 1 point of experience from every time that we hit someone, right? And as we can see, we got to hit somebody 80 times to level up, and we're only on level 1. That number's going to get a lot higher later on.
Yeah.
So using it on just your standard grunts probably isn't a super smart idea. So you want to use it on boss fights, because number 1, that's going to be when it's effective anyway, and you'll level up faster. And especially on fights against Pete. Whenever he shows up, is basically we're always going to wind up using Valor. Whenever Pete shows up, we're always going to use Valor, get a bunch of hits in on him, and get some experience up on that, because the chances of going into the form are nil during that. Because basically it drops to 0 whenever you're fighting against him.
This is very odd.
It is a bit odd that it's all behind the scenes, because it's supposed to be a surprise when this bad thing happens to you. We're cutting out the surprise element. Now I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things for you. We are going to use the form once or twice right here, just kind of show how a couple of things work.
Okay.
We're going to increase the counter a little bit, but whatever. So, first thing you got to know is whenever you go into this form here, there's a load time that happens. Now, some enemies get thrown into the air like that, right?
Yeah.
When you're moving to this other form, the game has to load. What have we learned about the PlayStation 3 version of this game?
It's not so good.
In the PS4 version, when you go into a drive form, that little explosion happens where enemies get knocked in the air, and Sora's frozen like this for about a half a second, and then he's in his form.
Okay.
In this, it can take like 10 seconds sometimes. Not 10 seconds, a bit much, but it's too long. The problem is, once that guy comes down, he's going to be active again. So here's what we're doing right now. Now, me pausing was not just to explain this to you. What we were doing right now is a speedrunning tactic that's even used in the PS2 version called pause buffering.
Okay.
By doing this, it's been loading this entire time.
Nice.
So when I unpause, we're going to go into it right away. So we're going to use this to speed up the process quite a bit. Whenever we use a form, we always need to pause buffer. And there we go. Now see, I'm already in it.
Wow.
It's changing.
Okay.
Sprite's coming up.
Wow.
Now, those little yellow things I just picked up refill the form gauge slightly and let me up. Let's go over here. Come on, Sora, you can do it. Now, every time that you are in a form, as you can see, when I get hits in or when I pick up the little orange orbs, the gauge refills ever so slightly. Uh-oh, getting hit. Not doing well at all here. That's fine. I hit square there for like a different... If you hit square, you have a different like combo opening when you're in this form. Anyway, it just went down to 0, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it hits the bottom, obviously we're going to revert out of this form. But we will go back to Sora's form, and that gauge will remain at 0.
Okay.
We'll be basically out of form, and we'll have to build it back up by picking up more of those orange orbs or by using... So, here's the thing. There's another tactic you have to use whenever you're leveling up these forms, because we obviously want to prevent the gauge from going up too much, so we have access to it when we actually want it for certain fights, but we also want to level it, right?
Yes.
So here's a clever little tactic we have here. If you have an area where all of your party members are not with you, like we were just in a second ago, where they're walking around separately, when you walk back in here, if you're still in the form, it'll auto-revert you and refill your gauge completely.
Weird.
Because, like, normally if I walked into an area, even if it was just like a town and not combat area, if your party members are still following you around, you'll stay in the form, because they would conventionally be following you around, and so one of them can still be merged with you. If they're already out here independently from you, then it automatically turns you back to normal because you can't be merged with any of them.
Okay.
So, if you're still in a form and you turn around like that, it will revert you, and while the counter will still go up, you won't lose your gauge. And so you can use that to cheese a number of things that we'll talk about later. Anyway, that's basically all we needed to show with the form right now. But there is one other thing that we need to show really fast, if I can get back up to where the right spot is in my notes, just because I had to scroll down to look at all the details on the numbers for that other thing really fast. Let's see, where is it? Here we go, okay. So, we'll go ahead and get all these chests and whatnot and just walk around through here really fast.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to show you in a second here is limits.
Yes.
So we're going to get limits with basically every single party member, Donald and Goofy included. Donald and Goofy actually get 2, and you can kind of choose between them.
Cool.
Now, the thing that said auto limit was basically, if we were in combat right now and there wasn't a reaction command available, there would be a triangle prompt to go into that limit right now, which burns all of our MP and starts up like an alternate attack cycle.
Okay, that's bad.
You get similar auto things like that for like summons and things, and you even get like
you
auto.
Can do it, Goofy.
You get auto for drive forms. So like, what if you just miss a reaction command and you do that instead? Bad. And it wastes your AP points, no reason to have it on. Anyway, so basically you're just going to have to go through the menu to activate it. It takes a little bit more time, but it saves ability points. You're not going to do anything on accident and burn a lot of materials. But anyway, if we go down here to Red Rocket, it always has an opening attack like so. All of them have some kind of opening attack, as there we saw some kind of... I've glitched it out. We've gone back to the not combat... Oh!
What is it?
It's like trying to play both tracks a little bit. Oh man, I'm really messing with this game now, dude. I'm hoping that a couple of glitches I encountered earlier when I was doing my research run still show up during this, because like I saw some weird freaking stuff that I've never seen on the internet before. I think maybe because I'm on an old fat PlayStation 3, so the load time is even worse. Dude.
Oh, this is bumping. I gotta upload this.
I'm gonna have to, we'll have to upload this separately. This is great. Okay, so as you saw there, we did like an initial AoE thing that's launched everybody. We've already done some damage to one of those enemies.
Yeah.
And so now we have a couple of other abilities we can do. This is me mashing X right now. Oh, we already finished it. Never mind. My bad. This is the finisher move, which I didn't mean to activate, but whatever. God, the music is freaking out.
Ooh.
Back to normal. Okay.
All right, we're good.
All right, so when you're in that, it automatically, whenever you use the limit, it takes all your MP right away, and I wasn't watching that quite closely enough. So there's a limit gauge that is draining at all times. Yeah, and when it hits 0, then it basically ends. It affects, depending on what limit you're doing, it can affect different things differently. I don't know why I'm walking back here. By the time I get here, it's already going to be almost refilled. Whatever. Too late now. I'm already committed.
There you go. You say, oh, no,
Did it. Saved no time, but we're still on pace for the world record, so it's okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Nothing?
What do we got here? I can make a drive recovery, which is an item you can use to refill your drive gauge, which we will hopefully never have to use because we're going to cheat so hard.
Okay.
And now we can finally start to craft some other things in here, but we don't have the ingredients to make them anyway, so who cares? Alrighty. For a while, synthesis doesn't matter a super amount, only later in the game when the best stuff is all hidden in there, and it's like, I want to get 3 of these items specifically that you can't buy anywhere, then it becomes really useful. You do, though, for our platinum 100% completion run, we will have to synthesize everything at least once.
Okay, that's fine.
To complete the notes in Jiminy Cricket's journal. Anyway.
Is there a downfall to using the limit at all? It's like is there any hidden?
No,
things?
there is no hidden counter on that. Just takes your MP up.
Okay.
And sometimes it isn't the most efficient like attack method or whatever. Like sometimes it's not exactly the best combat option.
Let's do this together.
So as you can see, we can actually fly a little bit here, and the speedrunners, the speedrunning tech, will actually go into this at the top of that area and fly down to the bottom. They don't, like, for whatever reason, they can use it and not lose any altitude and fly over all the enemies and just skip this area completely.
Okay.
But anyway, so triangle here is a little AoE attack from her, and X is that, the flame tongue thing.
Okay.
Oh, I left it on accident, never mind. Obviously, you saw earlier, once you complete a certain number of inputs on that, once you complete a certain number of attacks, the commands all change to the finisher. Mulan's is pretty simple. Other ones have, like, complex combinations they expect you to perform to be able to get certain moves in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm out of
like,
MP. That was
your
not
standard combo that you were doing earlier, was it not with X? Like, were you pressing something else?
X and triangle. The one that she was doing
was triangle, yeah.
Yeah, the one where she was, like, throwing out a couple of fireballs was triangle, and then the one where Sora was flying around and taking people out was triangle. So you saw Mulan was using one of her new abilities there where she was, like, flying at people with the fire effects.
Oh, yeah, I saw
shooting out of
that earlier.
Yeah. And that's one of the new things that she got now that she's, like, reverted forms. And she holds her sword backhanded because I guess they decided they needed to have another cool thing for her to do. Whatever, who cares? That's literally the worst style ever.
There's it's the coolest style. But
there's like a handful of moves that are tactically advantageous that can be performed from that position, but it's more like to quickly perform those couple of moves. It has no utility in a sword fight whatsoever. Anyway, okay, Super Mario Kart is that way.
All right. So what I've learned from this is I'm not going to go into drive until you tell me to go into drive.
Basically.
Ever.
Now, you could use it on Shan-Yu, though, because he's a bit of a sponge and, like, not that difficult, though, so it would be a good time to get some experience from him, actually. He's a good fight to do that, because we've only used it once. We're at 1 point. It's pretty much, until we get to 10, it's really not a problem. So
oh, man, look at all those people.
Yeah?
Look at all of them. Look at the crowd.
Yeah. Remember that scene from the movie? Wah!
When you're in drive form, do you gain, like, any damage resistance or anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
And you lose block. You can't block in that particular form.
Yeah.
You do have high jump, and your basic mobility is faster. Your just normal getting around walking speed is much faster in Valor.
Oh, look, there he is.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Whee! There he goes. What a fun ride that was.
Guard the palace! Do not let the enemy get anywhere near the Emperor! That's an order!
Uh-oh.
Oh, they turned into Heartless. That's like the second and last time that happens in this entire
We'll
franchise.
secure the courtyard, and you can save the Emperor.
Because that happened once to that one guy in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1 to show us how it worked. And then I think that's the second and only time that we ever see somebody just turn into a Heartless spontaneously.
Okay.
Could be wrong. I guess not second and only, second and last. Second and only doesn't make any sense. Silly me.
These guys really look like, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like the Chinese zombies, the Jingxi or something like that.
Jingxi? Unfamiliar.
I don't
That's
know
me,
if that's
I'm
what
a
it's
stupid
actually.
gaijin.
I don't know if that's what it's
I know
actually
gaijin
called.
is Japanese. It's probably inspired by something from Japanese. Chinese folklore. That would make sense.
Yeah. Let's see.
So I don't disbelieve you at all. That makes sense.
Ooh, cool stuff.
Yeah, cool stuff. All kinds of flashiness.
Oh wait, no, I have that gap closer now.
Yes, you do. Now, it doesn't always work. Like,
No,
that
it
guy was
doesn't.
well out of range, and he's also in the... I think that's
Oh,
technically...
wait, we
I
don't
believe
have
that's
Donald right
technically
now.
designated as an aerial target, so if you swap Goofy out, remember, you can go to party and swap
Oh,
him
you're
out.
right. Hey, oh, Goofy.
You can also swap Mulan out now, because when she was ping, she had to be in your party, but now you can do whatever.
Okay.
And you're in your other... Not that it matters, but you're in your other menu here. If you hit left, because I was over there for the part for the drive stuff. Yeah, you can flip between them now. There you go.
By the way, limit. Can I use like limit when I'm at any other like MP, or do I have to be at full?
No, I think it just takes it to 0, but you can use it whenever. I'm pretty sure it's like Cure, how I described Cure earlier. The Emperor's in danger. I'm pretty sure you can use it at like half or whatever.
Okay,
else.
so if I'm
no
like
time to lose.
so if I'm like low, it's a good idea.
I totally forgot the other really important thing to mention. You are invincible while in a limit.
Ooh, that.
So that is limits are actually a really strong defensive and healing option. If
Can you heal when you're doing?
No, you
it?
can't heal it, but like I mean, it gives you,
Well, yeah.
it lets you get distance or avoid something deadly. I have I can think of occasions on my playthrough when like I was about to die and quickly limited my way out. And the other thing is drive. That's the thing I should mention. If you're at 1 HP and you drive, after you drive, your HP is full.
Okay, cool.
So limit is a quick invincibility solution, and drive is a quick healing solution. They have other ramifications, obviously, draining your MP and adding something to the timer, obviously. But like sometimes when I've like no items, no MP, I've literally gone into a drive form to heal myself and then reverted immediately because I didn't want the abilities associated with
Can
it.
you
But I needed
like
to
when
heal
you're in
myself.
drive? Can you immediately like get out if you want to?
Yeah, if
Okay.
you just go to the drive menu and revert's an option there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's high. That's the high level speedrunning tech right there.
Okay.
I guess the speedrunners don't have to do that because they're so good, but that is like when you're playing the really hard stuff. That's a way to emergency heal yourself when you're out of other options. You're good to go. I'm done now. That was the end of my spiel.
I wasn't sure if the Emperor was gonna have a character model or not.
We got that far.
You'll bow to me.
This is actually fun fact. The gentleman who voices the Emperor, forget his name, but this was the final role that guy had before he passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he voiced the Emperor in the film, and he also voiced him in this, and this was his final acting credit before he passed away. Was replaying the character in Cage 2. Okay, he's frustrated. We got him.
Now.
Right.
All right. No, he was glowing. Oh no,
I was typing something there really fast. I had another note.
you missed it.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Defeat him while guarding so the gates can take damage here. So you wanna...
Really? What?
Yeah.
Oh.
They can take despite that was just because that's a door you could normally go through. There we go. That was the
oh.
PS3 loading times, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so oh gosh.
He attacks you, Heartless attack the door, and the gates are already at half HP, so you may want to get over there and take care of it.
Whoa! Can we not? Can we not? Wait, is it? Oh my God! Is the gate shared a morale gauge?
Yes.
Oh my
The
God.
gate is the morale gauge.
That's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb.
Wait, I mean it's just called gates. It just happens to use the same orbs. Resource allocation.
Come on, dude.
They made that special menu so they couldn't make different orbs for this.
Come on, dude. I gotta take these guys. Oh my God. I'm doing real bad.
And remember, if you want, you can go Valor on this guy and do some real damage. This is a decent time to do that. Or you can wait until you take some damage and use it to re-heal yourself.
Yeah. I was about to test the whole limit thing,
That's fine.
but
Oh, remember when I said they were talking about a hawk grabbing them and I said that was a mechanic?
Yeah.
The hawk can grab you and carry you away.
okay.
Because shenanigans.
Why not? Does it even do any damage?
I think it can do damage to you. And it could also like get you in the way of Shan-Yu's like other attacks or whatever. So I would definitely recommend going into it.
Whoa.
I would you gotta swap Goofy out to be able to use, you gotta swap Goofy in to use Drive.
Okay.
To use Valor.
I will do that then. That's the wrong button.
You wanna hit left. Because this is a good place to get free experience for that.
Okay. We'll just do that then.
And make sure you have pause buffer there. For like, yeah, I did it for way too long before. You're probably good now if you're on pause. Yeah, you're good. Smash the like button.
Please don't float like that, Sora. What? Oh.
Now you do have a combo modifier. You can hit square without being in a combo, and it's like a close distance thing, and you can keep mashing square to do more like that. And you can also
No,
I think
don't-
you
not
should already
now.
have this. I don't think you have to level it up. Oh, you're already out of it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not too
If you're
worried. What?
Mash triangle.
Gameplay.
I do like this fight.
Oh, is that what it was talking about when she was like, maybe if you parry him?
I think so, yeah. This is,
Ooh. Ooh.
you have items. Yeah, you're good. Never mind.
Nope.
Not good.
Okay, so do the enemies just stop spawning eventually during that?
Oh, wait, what's this? I won't give up.
Wait, what? Huh?
Get to work, son.
What? Decharge? Okay. Pearl? I'm so... What?
So, unfortunately, you've gotten this at a bad time because Shan-Yu's almost dead. But basically, there's specific fights in this game where if you die, you get a second chance to come in with Mickey Mouse here. And if you, yeah.
What?
Now, if you fill up his drive gauge, when Sora comes back, he'll have full HP and full MP and full drive gauge and everything. Now, as it is right now, if you get killed while Mickey, you won't refill all of Sora's stats, but Sora will come back and get a second chance. This is another game is too easy type thing, unfortunately.
That's cool. It's dumb, but it's
no,
cool.
it's freaking awesome, but it's also a little bit game's too easy.
Wait, so how long do I have to wait till I'm dead then?
No. Keep when you fill up to like 3 drive bars, then you can like auto revive Sora.
Okay.
And it fills up a little bit whenever you hit or take hits, but you can just fill it up way faster doing that. Fill the drive gauge to use Healing Light. Exactly. There you go. Now if you use that...
What the heck?
Shabams, now you're back in with full stats. And now you just gotta go finish him off.
Wow. Game too easy, I guess.
Game too easy.
Okay. So what
there's-
happens if you die as Mickey, right there?
If he dies, Mickey, Sora comes back but his stats aren't filled. He does come back, but it's like, I think you have like half HP and half, like all your MP's gone and your drive is
And
drained.
it just does that on certain fights?
There's just specific fights where it does that. Secret specific fights. Oh, we killed him. I like the Shan-Yu fight, but he needed way more health. Yep.
Now that's what I call burning some honey bun. Oh yeah, Mulan's the best. Mulan's the best. Now wait a minute, I'm the best. Mushu's the best. Mushu's the best.
We just did it. Oh, whoa, look!
Whoa, people, JPEGs,
No.
crazy.
Where were they a second ago? Did his bird pick them all up?
Yeah. The JPEGs, it was easy. They were light. You'll notice they're all like soldiers. They're not civilians.
Oh, no.
It's fine, who cares? Again, PS2.
Could be worse.
Soldier. You deceived your commanding officer, shamed the entire Chinese army, and dishonored your family name.
And especially on PS2, that looks a lot better than it does right now.
Woman. And in the end, you have saved us all.
Like this shot especially, and like I was talking about with like the things we were fighting up on the mountain earlier, where there was like, they were secretly all JPEGs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like this game actually has a lot of really clever stuff it does to get around its technical limitations. That looks a lot worse because we're on PS3 and it's no longer a big blur of people. It's instead individual JPEGs.
Yeah.
Honestly, it pulls some impressive tricks that are quite cool, but it's just as I was talking about before, they should have cherry-picked what scenes they tried to replicate.
Take this, so the world will know what it is you have done for China.
Thank you.
Mulan,
Yes?
Sora,
Sir,
Donald, Goofy.
Yes, sir.
Always in that order.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is that all there is to say, Captain?
So does he want to marry all of us now?
Yeah.
In the heart of Fa Mulan, China's bravest woman, you'll have to be a bit more eloquent than that.
can I get an autograph?
Thanks for everything, Sora.
Now they gotta let me go back to being a guardian. They gotta.
Just really fast. I'm sure I pointed this out previously.
Yeah.
But you also notice something that's going on with the sound design here, where we've got like that wind kind of blowing in the background, like we're in like inside of like a cave or something. Like
Yeah.
that's like the default. We don't have music or sound effects. We put that in the background, and it makes everything feel so weird in the cutscenes, man. Like it makes it feel like that's the sound you play after somebody throws out a joke and it gets totally sandbagged and nobody laughs. You cut to
Yeah.
the wide shot and you hear when like a tumbleweed rolls past. Like that's the sound effect that plays all the time if there's no music. It's a freaking bizarre choice.
But Mushu, I thought you already were a family guardian.
What? Oh, no, don't even worry about that. That's just real technical, just for us guardians.
Tricked us.
No. See, I just, I just didn't want to bog y'all down with all the guardian needs. See, it's very complex.
Oh?
fine print, you
Huh?
understand.
A lot of fine print you wouldn't understand, he says.
Huh?
Whoever does the stand-in for Eddie Murphy here is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it's the original actors for Mulan, and I'm pretty sure for Shang, and I know for the Emperor, but it's a stand-in for Eddie Murphy. Showing anime.
Where'd the sword go?
You remember this, right? We shot the card on Hollow Bastion. It was what opened the new path.
Yeah.
This is creating a new path for us. Everywhere we go, random items will glow, and we'll be able to shoot a keyhole that opens a new path.
Okay. Once again, probably a bad thing.
Sorry?
Said once again, probably a bad thing in the world of this game.
Yeah.
Considering there are Heartless here, and we didn't really purge the Heartless here.
Shall be missed.
Is it okay if we come back to visit?
Of course.
We will look forward to your return.
Everybody's very nonchalant about all this crazy stuff.
Watch it, soldier.
Goodbye, Sora, Donald, Goofy.
Yeah.
And again, like the weird wind effects in the background and nothing actually going on. Alright. Restores MP relative to the amount of damage taken. I believe that's called like MP Berserk or something. It's a piece of crap that's generally considered, especially by the speedrunners, to be the worst Keyblade in the entire game.
Okay, cool. I was about to say, it doesn't seem like a very good effect.
Yeah, we'll use it for a half a second because the only really cool thing about it is its visual effect, which is the fire bursts like from Mulan. Like it looks exactly like the ones from the
cool.
movie. So we'll go somewhere for like 2 seconds to show that really fast. What do we got over here? Oh, can't go there.
Oh, no. Wait, what is that Olympus again?
Yep, it's Olympus, but with some extra stuff. It looks like not just the other place anymore. I'm just gonna run back here for 1 second, really fast, just to show
Okay.
off that other Keyblade for a moment, and then we'll probably wrap up because we've been going for a little while here. We got a boss fight in. We explained new mechanics. It's exciting day.
Fumbled
already.
my way through this area really hard.
That's fine. You're getting better every day, Joey.
Nah. I was doing good
I
before
forgot.
this.
You know what?
I
It's a
think.
good thing I came back here, actually. I totally
wow.
forgot about the other big thing I need to talk about really fast. There's something else really important that needs to be discussed from a level design standpoint. Which I guess, you know what? We'll say next episode starts here instead.
Uh-oh.